My name is Silvio Corbetta. I am a psychologist. I am in Milan, Lombardy in July 2011. And I'm doing here a foundation, a legacy for the century we are in, and this legacy is named geopsychology. What is geopsychology? Geopsychology is a point of view about globalization in the 21st century. It is a possibility to understand better reality we are living in and to explain phenomena we are observing into geographical spaces. Well, let's talk about geopsychology. Let's explain what is this foundation. What is geopsychology? Geopsychology is an intellectual and spiritual legacy. We will leave to the generation are coming in the age of collapse and globalization. One of the ages most difficult in the history of human beings. Geopsychology is an evolutionary and cognitive approach to globalization of the 21st century. This approach joins psychology and geography. So we join psychology first and geography into the building of a new geosciences. In fact, geosciences are the sciences of the 21st century. Let's explain. So we can look at geosciences like the point of arrival of the knowledge in the age of globalization. Geopsychology is in the middle point, starting from psychology and geography, joining psychology to geography and being connected to the other geosciences. Geoeconomics first, that is very important in the age of globalization. Geopolitics, that after the fall of Berlin Wall has been one of the greatest efforts in academic rule in the global world. Geosociology, which is a new discipline, we can join geography with sociology, and geophilosophy, which is the starting point of our reasoning. So, let's explain what is the starting point. Geopsychology is applicative. Geopsychology is empirical. Geopsychology refers to geophilosophy for its final concept. Referring to geophilosophy, we have to have a relation with two main important thinkers of the 20th century. We have said geopsychology is a science of the 21st century, but its roots are in the 20th century. And in the 20th century we have two thinkers we have to face. The first one is Gilles Deleuze. Gilles Deleuze is a French philosopher, and in this contribute we don't want to see the whole over of Gilles Deleuze, but it's very wide. He has done a lot of several things that are very important in the study of thought in the 20th century. There is one concept of Deleuze we want to use in the definition of geopsychology, and is this concept, the concept of minor science. Well, let's explain what is a minor science. When Deleuze built his system of knowledge, he is saying there are major sciences and minor sciences. Major sciences have big theory. Medicine, for example, is a major science. Philosophy, for example, is a major science. Minor science have not this big theory and doesn't have to explain the whole reality they are interested. For example, cartography is a minor science. What is the difference between major science and minor science? But minor science are very useless. are very useful. Minor science are very interesting in applicative forms. So, for example, we can define geopsychology, the whole possibility of exploring geopsychology, as a minor science, and we don't have to lose time to build big theory. Instead of that, to build an application from psychology to geography. In this sense, geopsychology can be used as an application of principle of geophilosophy, but to introduce modification in the intellectual landscape of geophilosophy and geopolitics. So we will decline geopolitics and geophilosophy as a major science. Geopsychology as a minor science can express meanings that are linked from these two major opportunity of knowledge. But to explain better this relation, let's introduce the second thinker we were talking about in the 20th century. This man is a German. His name is Carl Schmitt and is very well known in philosophy of law. Why is it important, Carl Schmitt, in the meanings of geopsychology? Because Carl Schmitt has written a book in 1942. Carl Schmitt, I was saying first, this is the book he has written, Land and Sea, in 1942. And during Berlin's bombing in the 40s, Schmitt is writing. In the Germany was destroying Europe in the 20th century, Schmitt is writing and is meditating. Meditation on the meanings of arcanium, of symbols, of principles that drive human history. Land and Sea is a gift for his daughter. His daughter is named Aurora, and it is an explication of global history. So, Schmitt says, every history from ancient Greeks till now has been a history of land power against sea power. Land and sea. The new has been coming with the modern age. Why? Because if we see at ancient history, Athens and Sparta, Carthago and Rome, we always find the same opposition. But in the modern age all changes. In the modern age there is a new reality. What is this reality, is saying Schmitt? Is the victory of the sea against the land. And the character that drive this opportunity of winning the sea are the English people. The English people finally realize this victory of the sea. What is important in Land and Sea of Carl Schmitt? Many critics of Schmitt says, in Land and Sea Schmitt is going through the sea, outside the land. And for a man of law like Schmitt, the foundation of law is on the land. So, finally, modern age is a decision toward the sea, so is saying Carl Schmitt. And this is English rule in modern age. The rule of an island. The rule of a maritime power. And this is very important in geopsychology, like the imaging of the 21st century that is given us a sociologist like Simon Bauman talking about liquid society. So, this great appropriation of earth that is coming in the 16th and 17th century in the spreading of modern age has modified the geography of the world. And now we are at the final consequence of this expansion of the Western world, facing emergent power of new continent and of new land. So this is the actuality of Land and Sea, a test that is very important on a geopsychological formation.